I'm a truth seeker, because I know the truth's deeper than what you see first on the surface. I'm a truth seeker, because I know the truth's deeper than a Google or Wikipedia search. I'm a truth seeker, because I know the truth's deeper than what the media is spoon feeding us by force. You gotta dig deep into the root. Teeth sink deep into the fruit. Sweet juice sink deep into you. Till you need any proof, what you seek is seeking you. What you seek is seeking you. Till you need any proof, what you seek is seeking you.
Welcome back to The Mask. You know what it is. My name is Chantel Allen. I'm your host, and this is my crew.
Hello, my name's Ade. I'm going to be in 9th grade.
I'm Mackenzie, and I'm going to be a junior.
My name is Jason. I'm going to be a freshman in college.
My name is Andrew. I'm going into the 9th grade.
My name is Janaya. I'm going to be in 10th grade.
My name's Brandy, and I'm going to be a junior.
The Mask is an opportunity for youth to come together to talk about COVID-19, the pandemic, and their last 3 years' experience. We're here to laugh, learn, talk, and get to know each other. So let's get started. What were some of the negative things that your friends or family were saying about COVID-19?
That Black people couldn't get it. Yeah. That we were immune because of our melanin.
Yeah, our melanin, huh?
Yeah.
My family just didn't really think it was that serious because it just came randomly. And at first, even the government wasn't taking it that seriously.
Yeah, I don't think my family didn't take it as serious at the first half of when it started.
Yeah, my family and friends were just like, we're young, we're kids, we're Black, we're not gonna get it, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, my friends, they really made a joke out of it, we're gonna turn to zombies, it's gonna be a purge. So it's
That's crazy. That's wild.
At first, my family, we didn't really suspect anything, but so we just blew over our shoulder, but I had a feeling that this was going to somehow backfire, and all chaos and stuff is going to happen.
And that's exactly what happened too. It blew up right in our faces.
Right in your face, huh? All of a sudden, seriously though, in all seriousness, all of a sudden it seemed like there was 1,000 people who had passed away from COVID. We were like, wait a minute, what is happening here? Do any of you guys know about the Tuskegee experiment or the yellow fever flu from 1973?
I know that they used Black people as experiments.
Wow. How did that make you feel when COVID-19 came out and, there was these vaccines and...
I don't think it really affected me when it comes to COVID, but I still think it's kind of inhumane for it happening in the first place.
To add on to what he was saying, I want to disagree and say that I think that has a lot to do with the COVID vaccines and when they came out, because then that made our community look at the government and not trust them, because you guys put these vaccines into our great-great-great-grandfathers and made them think that, okay, they were going to be fine, they're going to get through this if they keep taking their medicine. And that's not what happened. They died, they got all these STDs, all this stuff that happened to them because of the vaccine the government gave them. Yeah. So I feel like with us going through that and then the vaccine just coming out so fast, that would really made us as a Black community be yeah, no, we're not trusting that.
It also was concerning because when the president got COVID-19, all of a sudden there was some sort of cure that he could get and be better within a week or something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it seemed crazy. And it was how come they're leaving us out here to basically die without this cure, but there's other people that are elite, kind of similar to the yellow fever pandemic when all of the officials were able to leave the city and avoid having the disease and left all these people of color and poor people in the city of Philadelphia to be infected by yellow fever. That also really caused me to have some distrust with the government too. Tell me about how this really affected the vaccine decisions. When the vaccine came out really fast, how did you feel about that?
I didn't really trust it at all. I was just why would I take this? It just came out. Like, what am I even putting into my body? But, you know, my mom's had to come through and make me take the vaccine. And I ended up being fine, but I just didn't really trust what they were giving me.
Yeah.
I said, like, cause I had like experience seeing like my auntie get like the vaccine and she's still getting it. It's like really doubting it. Like, so what was this for? If you're still able to get the COVID, so what's the point of even having the shot? So it really made me double back. Like, what are you putting in my body? Like, cause it's not about to help me.
Yeah.
It's not working. So it really made me like, no, I ain't getting that.
When the vaccine first came out, like me and my mom and anyone in my family didn't really, trust it. So this was when it announced like everyone stay inside. So we just stay inside and not worry about it. One of my other family members got it somehow. So my mom wanted me and my brother to get vaccinated. But even though we got vaccinated, we still got COVID, but we did get it. It wasn't like as bad. We didn't have no symptoms, no losing taste. We just had to stay in our rooms quarantined. It was bad though, but I'm low-key glad I got the vaccination.
Wow.
I was planning on getting it, maybe at some point like later on. But like when it first came out, I was definitely not gonna get it. But like if they figured it out more and if I get more information, I'll do it. But not for the first half at all.
Not even for $200,
No.
huh? No, there was no number.
No.
That's what's up. So we've had a lot of different answers. That's great. That's why we're here, because I want to hear what everybody has to say. And we all know that we are not a monolith, so we come from a lot of different directions. This has been a great conversation. But we have to have a commercial break, y'all. We'll be right back.
So my name is Tito Wilson, and my community affiliation here is I'm the owner of Wilson's Image Barbers and Stylists. I want to make sure that people in this community, if they want the vaccine, they can do it right here in the barbershop, a place that they know, a place that's always going to be here. And like I said, it's with people that they trust. People look just like us. We got black doctors and black nurses right here serving the residents of this community.
It's important because sometimes as people go through their day in and day out, they don't make time if it's not important to them. But our thing is to create the access. So I can't tell you how many times people have said, I've been passing this bus for weeks. You don't have to take off from work.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm Raisha Williams, community member and activist, here to tell you to get vaccinated and remember to wear your mask.
Welcome back to The Mask. I'm Chantel Allen. I'm your host, and this is my crew.
My name's Ade.
I'm Mackenzie.
Hi, I'm Jasa.
My name's Andrew.
My name's Shania.
And I'm Brandy.
So I know, Ade, you said you got COVID, but has anybody else been affected with COVID-19?
Yeah,
How was it? How bad was it?
it was pain in the butt. It was like I couldn't get out of bed. Like I was shaking, hot, cold. Every minute, I couldn't taste or smell. It was just all bad, and it really messed up like my mental health because I have to stay to myself so I won't get my own family sick. And like I'm wondering if I'm going to die or not. And like, should I go to a hospital or should I stay home? Then like it just ended up, the whole house started getting it, and I just really felt down because like I'm like, wow, I just put my family through this and I ain't even do nothing. Like it just got out of nowhere. So
When I had it, it was on the opposite end of the spectrum, luckily for me. It wasn't that bad. I lost my taste and my smell, which affected me for months even after. Really, my taste, a lot of stuff didn't taste the same, but I was just really, really drained and tired.
Yeah, exhausted. Yeah, that's how I kept saying I was feeling. I'm exhausted.
From just sitting around.
Yeah, because you're laying in bed, you sick. But shoot, when I had it, it was flu times 1,000. Like, I don't know if it was just because I didn't get that vaccine, but it was a horrible experience. I wouldn't wish that on nobody, to be very honest.
Have any of you guys lost anybody close to you to COVID-19?
I almost lost somebody. It was my great aunt. And like she was in the hospital, life support, all that. Like she can't walk no more. She have a breather now. Like it's all bad.
Did that make you guys feel worried about visiting your elders in your family?
Yeah, I think that for sure made that was the biggest fear during the pandemic is going around your loved ones, your relatives, your grandparents, because you know that deep down inside, there's this chance that they could die, they could get this, and it's over. So I feel like that just took a toll on people the most mentally, that disconnect from your family.
I was worried about getting like my grandparents sick, but like also my little cousin has asthma, so I know that can make it worse because COVID really affects like your respiratory system and stuff. So I didn't want to get her sick or anything.
As an athlete, I play sports all year round, and so I'm constantly in contact with other people. And like when the pandemic happened and like they were like doing like you had to play with masks and stuff, like I was taking like precautions, like making sure I wouldn't go and see my grandmas after my games and like visit like my cousins and stuff because I didn't want to like, in case I got it from somebody else, I didn't want to have to like spread it to them. So I was really like isolating myself from my family almost, and it was just like I feel bad because it's like you're my grandma and now I have to like distance myself from you all because I just want to play my sport.
Yeah. I remember seeing like TikToks and stuff on the internet when people were finally able to come back together after the pandemic because they'd been vaccinated. Did any of you guys have any stories like that with your little cousin or your grandparents where it was just so exciting to be back with family again after COVID?
Yeah, I think definitely after we didn't have to quarantine anymore and people really could go out and the masks started to be optional again, I feel like that was like a big weight lifted off everybody's shoulders. Because it's like physical isolation is one thing, but mental isolation, that takes a real toll on you. Mm-hmm. Like that's the worst thing that you can imagine, especially at our young age.
So that was a great conversation. We explored what you guys experienced as the pandemic, and you shared quite a bit about your elders and how the pandemic affected them and your interactions. And up next after the break, we're gonna have a historian come in, Siobhan Johnson, and give us another perspective or a deeper perspective to how the pandemic affected our society.
Mask on, gotta put a mask on. Mask on, better put a mask on. Mask on, better put a mask on. Mask on. I just had a conversation with a woman because she asked for the reason that I ain't wear a mask. Said I was opposed to the system and had a different task. To control the virus, we kill mucus with the vitamins that we find in natural resources around in the environment. She said she understood and believed in similar remedies, but mentioned I should remember this virus been on the killing spree. And it's important for me to study and gather information, but don't ignore the reports being recorded across the nation. She said put a mask on. Mask on. Don't want it to last long, so I put a mask on. Look, it's out in the air, nowhere to be seen, just tags along. Look, so I put a mask on, you put a mask on. We quarantine, it's so hard to breathe with a mask on. Can't wait till it's over, back to the normal. Mask
on. Hey, welcome back to The Mask. I'm Chantel, your host, and I have the pleasure of introducing Siobhan Johnson. Welcome her to the show, y'all. Siobhan is a history professor at Metropolitan State University, and she's also the executive director of Pimento Relief Services. She's here to set the record straight. Can you give us a historical background about why the African American community would be skeptical of vaccines and the medical industry altogether?
Yeah, so to think about the way that African Americans were brought to this country, forcibly brought here and enslaved and considered chattel. And so when you think about us being considered chattel or thinking property, it's that our value is no more than this table or no more than a horse or a mule, actually equivalent to. And so oftentimes when things came up in terms of medical experiments, we were the first to be used to do that. There were doctors who actually would perform different things on Black women to see how they would respond, often done without any kind of, when you're sick and you get medicine, oftentimes the experiments that were done on us, we didn't have medication to get through it. They just wanted to see exactly how it happened. the reality is that historically, as people of African descent, we don't have a reason to trust the medical system here. It doesn't mean that we can't. It just means that historically, given all the different things that have happened to us here and that continue to, we don't have a legitimate reason to trust it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree. Also because it came out that they're even taught in medical school that we have a higher pain tolerance and we don't feel what white people feel, even as a Black person. So it's kind of, it gives us more reason to take real precautions when it comes to the government and when it comes to the health industry.
Mm-hmm. That's also interesting to me that they use us as test subjects, because in my mind, if you don't think we're the same as you, why do you think we would react the same as you? So why are you testing it on us if you don't think we're human, if you don't think we're the same as you guys, why do you think we're going to react the same way?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So Siobhan, talk to us about the negative things that are happening in the medical industry now with African Americans. And do you think that things could change?
So one of the things that is, to go back to the point that you made before, right now, technically, if you just look at data and statistics, folks who abuse like opioids or pain pills are not Black folks in the medical spaces. It's actually middle-aged white women who go and get way too many Oxycontin. Do y'all know what I'm talking about, Oxycontin? Yeah. Give me a perk. You know, they go and get way too many things that they don't necessarily need. But in terms of when we go to the hospital and maybe in some kind of pain and legitimately need some kind of relief, we're actually questioned and demonized. And it's like, well, are you sure you need that? Are you sure you got to do that? And so even though the people who are abusing these systems, we're the people who we actually get the consequence of their abuse. Versus like when we really actually need that kind of help, we really actually need that kind of support. And to go back to that point, there still is a true belief in medical spaces, and this is just transparent. I had suffered from tendonitis and went to go get my ankle treated, and I literally could not walk. And the person was like not believing that I couldn't walk. And I don't fake like that. I'm a tough cookie, but it's like I really couldn't walk. And I had to really make him believe. And if it wasn't for the fact that I had a student who was the same kind of medical doctor to kind of advocate for me. So those things are still happening with the belief that we have this extra super kind of strength that we don't necessarily have. And so there's a lot of disparity in our medical field. One of the things I will say is my personal doctor, his name is Dr. Kevin Gilliam, and he serves at North Point. Y'all know where North Point is? North Point Health and Wellness. So that's my medical doctor, and he's the chief medical doctor. He also is my pastor's son-in-law. And so it's really gonna be important for us to build trust, because we gotta go to the doctor, y'all. Like we gotta check on ourselves. We have to do that. But there has to be a level of rebuilding trust, because y'all know if y'all friends violate your trust, it's gonna be tight, right? So you have decades and centuries and generations of mistrust, and rightfully so. And so we have to find a way to rebuild systems that will help us survive. And I think that's gonna be having folks in the medical field that we know, like, you know, I ain't gonna like, bro, you ain't gonna lie to me. Like, run them numbers, you know? And so that means that we have to get our education. That means that we have to be in a position to where we can fill those spaces to really dismantle so many years of wrongdoing.
That goes back to something that Jason was saying about us just having to take in the information that they were giving us rather than actually hearing it from somebody that we trust. And one of the things I heard you say is that your doctor is your pastor's son.
Son-in-law, yep.
And unfortunately in our communities, things have happened that have caused us to become disconnected from one another. And so we're forced into using other medical experts that 2 generations ago we didn't even have access to. And so I feel like that also plays a part in the trust levels that we have with the medical system.
I kind of think it's unfair because, like, there's some people that can't afford the money to get the treatment, but they're also trying to, like, help their family out, make sure they eat every day, make sure they're healthy. But, yeah, it's really messed up.
And I can say, like, it really, like, It makes me angry because if my grandma goes to get some medicine and she can't get it and like she really needs that would really mess up my family and like it really look at like the doctor like different, like how my grandma can't get this because you think, oh, she's abusing it, and you just let this white lady come in or like anybody just come in and just get it, and she just overdosed. You just seen her like an hour ago and she's overdosing on the same pill that my grandma needs. So it really, really like angers me because of that.
So Siobhan, how can we as the African American community move forward in building trust with the healthcare system just in case another pandemic comes along?
I think it's going to be really important that we have honest conversations. I think that it's going to be really important that we engage our healthcare providers, and they're not as inaccessible as we believe. As I referred to North Point Health and Wellness, if y'all don't know, the North Side Minneapolis is highly populated with African American folks and also a large population of Southeast Asians and Hmong folks. And so it's going to be really important that we engage our healthcare providers, that we know our healthcare providers, and we have real honest conversations about this historical trauma. We have real honest conversations about why we might feel the way that we feel, and then to move forward with that. And I know that seems like a big way to do it, but we just have to come together as a community and talk about these things that we have a right to talk about. Who all took the vaccination? Did y'all take it? You did? Was it hard to take it? Was you scared to take it?
No, at the first half I was, but like, you know, when we got more information about it, it was definitely better to get it done.
And so I just got to go back to, we have to really engage our healthcare folks. And the reason why I start with North Point is because of the population that they serve and the services that they provide and the conversations that they have genuinely around the stuff that we're talking about right now. And so I think it starts with a conversation. I think it starts with rebuilding that trust. And I think it starts then going to move with that action. And also us getting in the fields. Like, it starts with us becoming medical doctors. It starts with us becoming physical therapists. It starts with us doing that work as well.
Right, because change doesn't just happen. We have to make that change and push to make it happen.
Period. And when you think about what you want to do, like, think about what you want to do. The reason why I decided to become a teacher, because I never had a teacher that looked like me. And so I think sometimes when you think about, like, if you want to see something altered, you want to see something be something different, you be it. Like, we the ones we waiting for.
So thank you so much, Siobhan, for all of your expertise. And now let's see what's going on in the streets of Minneapolis with Kimmy.
Hi, it's Kimmy on the streets, and I'm with the history of Black people in the health industry, like example, like the Tuskegee experiment. Do you feel that was the reason that Black people decided not to get vaccinated?
Absolutely. I think Black people they're skeptical because of that kind of history in the medical field. They're skeptical of getting any type of vaccination or even taking medications because you don't know what kind of experiment you're trying to put on us next. We shouldn't have to worry about getting sicker when we come to you for help. So yeah, no one wants a vaccine. We don't know what's even in, what's in it.
And are you vaccinated?
I am vaccinated. Not by choice, but because I have to for my job, my profession.
Do you feel that forceful vaccination is the right way to go? Because that's kind of the way jobs did it and schools did it. Do you feel that people should still have the right to choose not to and still be able to work?
I think that people definitely should have a choice. I was not happy that I was forced to take this vaccine, but I did not want to leave my profession. I love my career, so I did because I had to. But everyone should have a choice regardless of what experience. Yep.
So it's a wrap. Thank you for joining us on The Mask. Remember, I'm Chantel, the host, and this is my crew. Please join us next week at the same place, same time. Up next, we have a performance by Barry. Bye.
We are here to protest according to the bad governance in the country. We came out on a peaceful protest. On getting here, we observed that some paid anti-protesters, they came out with guns, different injuries already. Youth fighting youth. I don't know how this
Elevated, we just tryna hustle, get the paper. Life is really what you make it. So be wise and don't waste it. Don't waste it. Way too long, they've been killing all of us. People pray for a life that could be just. All the people where they carry all the money, all the poverty, we food for the country. Where them hide, where them dead, we go find out. Carry strength, be no press for the longer. Hold your hands, my brothers and sisters. Hold, things gon' change. The fight has just begun. Revival, now we be fighter. Revival, surely it's a revival. Survivor, we no retire. Revival, it's a revival. Oh, it's a revival, and the skies are getting brighter. Oh, it's a revival, and the birds are singing louder, saying they want freedom right now. They want freedom, crying, they saying they want freedom right now. They want freedom right now. Let's build a place where we can live again. This government, we no do again. If they wonder why, tell them you no look their face. All the human race, hear our final say. Scatter the place if anybody want it for the place. Today, politician go chop again. Waiting they up for your head. You no see your people, you just greet the gun. Now we turn to run. Revival, now we be fighter. Revival, surely it's a revival. Survivor, we no retire. Revival, it's a revival. Oh, I'm screaming for my freedom. I'm screaming for my freedom. Yeah.